Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with rapid fire news on Sunday, May 31st, 2020. Gonna change it up here. I used to call it news and rumors, spend here like a half hour on a Sunday talking about news. I feel like I've gone a little too long on the news and rumors, and I need to shorten those videos up. So we're going to make it rapid fire news, very quick. We're going to go over the news. 3 topics I got today to discuss. Matt Riddle was officially called up on SmackDown on Friday night, but he's not the only one who's reportedly being called up. We'll talk about that. When did Brian Cage sign with AEW? Before his Double or Nothing debut? We'll talk about that. And finally, our main event topic on the Rapid Fire News. What were the pay-per-view buys for Double or Nothing this week? The number is not out, but the estimated number looks incredible for what we're going through right now. So we'll talk about that. Before I get to the Rapid Fire News, man, make sure you guys go check out my videos for this week. Monday Night Raw, AEW Dynamite, NXT review, as we are on the road to NXT TakeOver in your house 1 week from today. That is NXT TakeOver in your house 1 week from today. Make sure you go check out Eddie's video that he made discussing the posse that came out with Mike Tyson on Dynamite this past week. And check out my SmackDown review up on the Big Fight Field channel now. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it now. Without further ado, let's get to the news. I want to start off with the call-up that could be happening sooner rather than later. And apparently, according to Wrestle Talk, I think this broke on Thursday. This was reported on Friday. A name of Dominic Dijakovic is expected to make a jump from NXT to either Raw or SmackDown. What brand he will be associated to, I don't know. But this is a guy that Vince McMahon would love to have on the main roster, I think. He's tall. He can wrestle. He's huge. He's 6'7". And if I'm Vince McMahon, I don't see, like Matt Riddle, I don't see how this guy is not in the main event scene on either Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. SmackDown could use a guy like Dominic Dijakovic, I feel like, more than Monday Night Raw can. That's just me. So if I'm booking Dijakovic on a brand, I'm making a SmackDown. Again, just like Matt Riddle, we got dream matchups we could see Dominic Dijakovic have. Could you imagine Dijakovic versus Cesaro in a matchup? That would be awesome. That would be awesome to see Dominic Dijakovic versus Cesaro. So, I mean, I'm not really surprised by this. Dijakovic had a good run in NXT. He main evented a takeover at War Games. He had a classic North America Championship match with Keith Lee at NXT TakeOver Portland this year. And there's kind of nothing for him to do in NXT, so I feel like now could be the good time to bring up Dijakovic to the main roster, to either Raw or SmackDown. Again, what brand he's associated to, I'm gonna predict SmackDown. I'm going to predict SmackDown for Dominic Dijakovic. And how long until Vince McMahon shortens his name to either Dominic Dijak, because Dijakovic is too long, so Dominic Dijak, or Double D for Dominic Dijakovic? How long until Vince McMahon changes up his name? Unbelievable. Let's talk about Brian Cage for a second. Brian Cage made his AEW debut at Double or Nothing when he won the Casino Ladder match, and he is booked to face Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship at Fyter Fest. I think that's going to be the main event of Fyter Fest. We got Cage and Moxley at Fyter Fest. But when did Brian Cage actually sign with AEW? I think according to Meltzer, I believe believe, I didn't write down notes because it's rapid fire. So I believe according to Meltzer, Brian Cage was injured back in January, and he signed an AEW contract in January while he was injured, and Tony Khan was paying Brian Cage when he was injured. And Tony Khan said, I feel like Brian Cage is going to have a big factor into Double or Nothing, so if he'll be cleared by Double or Nothing, and he'll probably win the Casino ladder match. So the fact that Tony Khan paid, the fact that Tony Khan paid Brian Cage when he was injured showed how much investment Tony Khan had in Brian Cage and how much Tony Khan was going to push Brian Cage. I mean, he's already gave him a rocket strap and pushed him all the way up to the top because he's feuding with the world champion right now, Jon Moxley, and they're having a match at Fyter Fest. So that's that with Brian Cage. I was really shocked about this, to be honest. This is kind of a WWE move, if I'm gonna be honest. When like WWE pays their talent to sit at home and all that stuff, this is kind of a WWE move in my opinion. But I mean, it's whatever. I had to bring that up because it was just in my head. So that's that. Brian Cage and Taz is going to be the Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman of AEW. And I'm sure I'll be talking about this again Wednesday night on my Dynamite review because Brian Cage is slated for another match this coming Wednesday on Dynamite. Finally, the final topic of the rapid fire news. AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view buys. The official number has not been set, but according to multiple reports, the pay-per-view seemed to do really good in buys with between 1,500,000 to 120,000 pay-per-view buys during a pandemic, man, with no audience except the wrestlers at ringside. That's fantastic. That is absolutely incredible. I got the numbers written down here for the pay-per-view buys, and then we'll talk about it because this is surreal. This is awesome, if you ask me. So the Double or Nothing pay-per-view back in 2019 got 100,000 to 110,000 pay-per-view buys. AEW All Out got 101,000 pay-per-view buys. AEW Full Gear got 100,000 pay-per-view buys. AEW Revolution got 100,000 to 105,000 pay-per-view buys. And Double or Nothing 2020 got 115,000 to 120,000 views, pay-per-view buys. So that's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. The show was awesome. I could not be any happier that AEW got these numbers. I'm guessing they got tons of money from this pay-per-view buys, and great things are coming up for AEW in the future. That's all I got. That's all I got, man. I knew it's going to be rapid fire. We're close to 9 minutes, so that's really good. I want to finish off by saying this. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe on the Big Fight Field channel. If you guys have not subscribed, you better hit that subscribe button, because I am determined that June will be the month that myself and Eddie Mullins reach 100 subscribers on the Big Fight Field channel. I am determined to get 100 subscribers during the month of June. If it's not by Backlash, I guess I won't be disappointed, but let's do it by June. Let's do it in June, man. Comment down below what you think of the news that I reported. Dominic Dijakovic going up to Raw or SmackDown. Brian Cage signing with AEW in January while injured. And the pay-per-view buys for Double or Nothing, 115,000 to 120,000. Let me know what you think of that. If you're excited for a new week of Big Fight Field content, hit that like button, man. As always I do on Sunday night, I will be tweeting out the schedule for the Big Fight Field this week. So make sure you stay tuned. And follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And Instagram at Colin_Joseph. And follow Eddie on Twitter as well at Eddie Mullins 515. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I hope you all have a good Sunday. And I'll be back here tomorrow night with your Monday Night Raw review. Right here on the Big Fight Field channel. A new, fresh week of content coming up for you guys. Stay safe.